Funding for Off 90 is provided in part by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund and the citizens of Minnesota.
When was the last time you saw an evening of great theater from the comfort of your own living room? Well, tonight could be that night as KSMQ Legacy Productions presents Playhouse Off 90. Hello and welcome to Playhouse Off 90. I'm your host, Greg Abbott. I'm the coordinator for the Minnesota Shorts Play Festival, which is held each year in Mankato. And tonight, we'll be enjoying some of the best plays of last year's festival. The Minnesota Shorts Play Festival is a performance of some of the best short plays from around the state and the country. Each year, we get more than 100 submissions. In the end, 20 selections are performed. Playwrights range in age from young to old, and from professional to novice. Some cast rehearse in their hometown and bring the play to Mankato for the performance. Other playwrights connect with local directors from Mankato and the Twin Cities area and cast the play locally. The end result is a night full of powerful dramatic moments, comedies that make you laugh out loud, and a stunning variety of talent from around the nation, all in a little venue in Mankato. The plays you'll see tonight on Playhouse Off 90 are just a sampling featuring several of the short plays performed at last year's festival. I think you'll enjoy the evening. Our first play, Duncan Pflaster's Fugly Train, showcases this New York playwright's comedic chops. His plays have been performed in festivals all over the nation, and after one read, Mankato director Molly Smith was convinced to hop on board the project. Using talented high school actors from Mankato, Alex Adams and Alyssa Berg, the play uses humor to explore self-esteem and the high standards women often set for themselves and for others.
Oh, there are some fugly people on this train.
I know, right? That chick over there has a unibrow.
Ew. Hello, Wolverine called? He wants his face back.
Oh, geez, look at her. She is way too old to be wearing clothes like that. Somebody needs to tell her she looks like a low-rent hooker.
So you tell her.
It's not my job.
Oh no, look at Miss Thing over there in her low-ride pants. Girl, you can't wear pants like that unless you don't have any hips.
And you do. You do have hips. Damn, all that back flap, nobody wants to see that. Pull up your pants until you lose 30 pounds.
Wait a minute, Chloe. Oh my God, all the women on this train are nasty skanks. We're in the skanky girl car. That means we must be skanky too.
Say what?
Well, you see, I had this theory that all gross-looking people congregate together, like subliminally, you know? We must have all chosen this very subway car out of some perverted, skanky lemming instinct. Chloe, we're on the fugly train.
That is ridiculous, Callista. There's no such instinct or whatever. And besides, we are not fugly.
Then why did we choose to sit on the train with all the fugly girls? What does that say about us?
So we'll move to another car when the train stops. It's no big deal.
Moving to another car is not going to solve anything. Don't you understand? It's the ebb and flow. It's the movement of people in the universe. We're inextricably caught up in forces beyond our control. We're surrounded by fugly.
Well, what if you think about it like this instead? If all the other girls on this train are fugglier than we are, then that makes us the prettiest girls in the subway car.
Why, Chloe, you're right. I never thought about it like that. We're lovely. We're the cream. We're just slumming it here on the fugly train. We're the pretty girls. Bye-bye, unibrow. Bye-bye, skanks.
This is our train to Manhattan, making all local stops. Next stop, Queensboro Plaza.
Well, she's pretty.
Are you kidding? I'd kill for an ass like that. You could bounce quarters off that thing.
Oh my god, look at the hair on that girl in that green skirt. It's so beautiful. I've always wanted long straight hair.
But your hair's beautiful, Callista.
Thanks, sweetie, but you don't have to lie to me. It's not like hers.
Oh my god, I want her shoes.
Me too! Uh-oh.
Oh crap. We're the ugly girls on the pretty train now, aren't we?
I didn't want to say anything, but yeah, I think so. Sometimes you're the bug, sometimes you're the windshield.
Man, this is the worst train ride ever. I want to cry.
No, it's okay. I think I might have learned something from this. It's like, maybe we shouldn't put so much emphasis on appearance, because it's like all superficial and stuff. As long as we're okay with who we are inside, that's all that really matters. Right?
Right.
And at least we're on the pretty train now.
Damn Skippy.
Waiting on Godot serves as both a sequel and a parody of Samuel Beckett's seminal work, Waiting for Godot. Written by Mankato MFA student Linton Lewis, the play turns its namesake on its head. Odessa, a waitress at a country diner, faces her own questions about the meaning of life after serving a familiar and curious patron.
God, does it ever stop? Well, aren't you going to say anything?
Like what, dear?
Like, what's that? Or, whatever do you mean? Does whatever stop?
Oh, are you speaking to me?
Of course.
Because you began with God.
Yes, but that was just exclamatory.
I see, and yet a question like that still seems a bit...
Rhetorical?
Precisely.
Well, it wasn't.
Wasn't what?
Rhetorical. So get on with it.
Get on with what?
Asking me what never stops.
Oh, are we still on that? Okay, well, what never stops?
All this, running to and fro, waiting hand and foot, serving soup to nuts.
That's no way to talk about customers, miss.
Either way, just look at that jackanapes. Comes in, orders an 85-cent coffee, and sits and mumbles to himself for the better part of the morning. No, he can't be bothered to order a meal, but I can be bothered to scurry from kitchen to corner refilling that blasted mug. Never a moment to...
Who?
The man at table 7.
Who?
I just told you.
Who?
Well, he didn't give me a name.
Who?
I don't know.
Third base.
Oh, for God's sake, he's the only one there.
There you go, bringing God into it again. What did he ever do to you?
What did he ever do for me?
Butterflies.
What?
Butterflies and rose petals and color forms.
Yes, yes.
And whiskers on kittens and bright copper kettles.
Right.
And orgasms.
Well, he's not all bad, I suppose. Just look at him. So odd.
Oh, him? Why, that's Mr. Gatto.
Who?
Mr. Gatto. He's a fine man, quite well-to-do, owns a stretch of land around here, I've heard.
Is that right? Mm-hmm. What's he do?
I'm not sure, really. He always struck me as a professor type, or maybe a man of the cloth.
With money?
No taxes, if you'll remember, dear.
Ah.
You should speak to him. He's renowned for his womanizing.
Really? He doesn't look...
Oh, but he is. Why, if I were 30 years younger. See, he only likes young girls.
Does he?
Mm-hmm. Or was it boys?
There's a bit of a difference.
Not to some. Though he couldn't be a womanizer if he liked boys. That would make him a boysonizer.
That's ridiculous. The term would be...
Excuse me, but could you ladies keep it down? I hate to be a pill and so constricted and temporary, but you see, I'm caught on a very difficult problem.
That's so?
Yes.
Oh, what kind of crossword? I'm good at those, sir.
Afraid not.
How about one of those Bazooka Joes, then? I was stuck once myself. He wanted to know why time flies, sir.
Indeed. However, my dilemma's a bit more philosophical.
Introspective.
Yes.
Holistic.
Right is right.
Hogwash.
That's the one.
And you want us to keep quiet.
If you could.
And keep that bottomless cup of coffee coming?
As per the menu.
And if we refuse...
Really?
Shh.
What kind of diner is this?
The kind that warrants that question.
Touche.
Now, I've been pouring and pouring for hours on end, and it seems to me you're the one that's bottomless.
Madam, you offer me a rather ribald retort.
Order something, I bring it, you eat it, you leave. You're satisfied, I'm satisfied. But all this coffee, what are you, a beatnik?
Hardly.
You scum!
How's that?
You swine!
Beg pardon?
Pinko commie bastard! Order something! Order something this very instant or I'll recommend the chicken salad.
It's quite good.
Perhaps the 66, isn't it?
Oh, no, I can't eat anything, not at a time like this.
A time like what? Brunch?
Oh, no.
Certainly not dinner, you're right. You've stumbled into some sort of mealless nexus.
Have I?
Of course not. Order something.
That's the wish. What if I don't like it?
A refund, sir.
What if it's too cold?
Back to the oven, then.
Or too hot?
Ice cubes and
Or
patience.
smells or falls on the floor, makes me vomit.
Sweet Jesus, I don't have time for this.
Or is so delicious, so fantastic, so lip-smackingly, mouth-wateringly divine that no food after it being ambrosia or pudding pops could ever compare.
Another cup?
Please.
Hello.
Afternoon.
I'm tart.
That you are. Many thanks. Now, where was I?
Uncertainty.
That's right. Shucks.
So what's it gonna be? What will you have before I throw your ass
Oh,
out?
back to that. I'm sorry, Miss Odessa, but my mind is too occupied at the moment to mull over ham and eggs.
Ham and eggs it is.
Oh, please, no. Terrible indigestion.
What then?
Like I said, I'm a bit preoccupied.
With what?
I doubt you would be interested.
Try me.
All right. I'm to see these two fellows this evening, and I'm not sure if I should.
Friends of yours?
Not really certain. They contacted me for a meeting, and I've sort of put them off for a while now. I haven't the faintest idea what they want. Are they friends, enemies, a matter of business or pleasure, past, present, future, blue perfect? And what if I disappoint or they do? There's just a terrible amount of possibility.
You're right. I'm not interested.
I thought as much.
You've got somewhere to go and something to do, and you'd rather analyze it than do it. So now you're moping in here with us.
Life is what happens when you're busy making other plans.
Oh, shut up.
That seems unfair.
Not really. She's heard worse.
No, to me, you were the Cliff Notes version of my problem. I think you have it all sorted out. It's not as simple as all that, you know.
Oh, no, and why not?
Oh, all sorts of metaphysical reasons you wouldn't understand.
And now you're insulting my intelligence?
No, merely your education.
Rhetoric like that is befitting only to the lowest dregs of Gomorrah. I implore you to curb your tongue, or by the wings of Hermes I shall rip it from your gullet and doom you to a fate unimaginable, even to the oracle of Delphi.
Are you busy this
Good
Saturday?
Lord! Say no, dear.
See, it's not pleasant when someone's presumptuous now, is it? Well, I could say the following. A girl with a mind like that sure is going places, so what's a girl like that doing in a place like this? See, that would be dreadful of me. Or why does she complain and complain? Seems to me if she hated things so much, she'd take a stand, make a move, quit. A better life awaits. Go west, young man.
Woman.
By the way.
Perhaps I will. These plywood walls aren't the limits to my horizon.
Right, you'll see the world, brave the terror, stomp on the terror. You could lasso the moon and reach to the stars. So go, live, act, prosper!
Yes!
But first, could I trouble you for a refill? Can you see it? This is your blockade, your great wall. But if it wasn't this cup, it would be an undercooked meatloaf or a crying infant. Things aren't so simple then, are they?
Yes, they are. This evening you'll be gone. I'll be free to do as I please. Nothing will stand in my way.
It's about similar to yesterday's speech.
What did you say?
Oh, yesterday's speech. It was a tad longer, but full of the same bits. Rebirth, second chances, Phoenix rising from the ashes and whatnot.
You were here yesterday.
I certainly was.
That's ridiculous. I would remember.
Obviously not.
I don't believe you.
Yesterday was Tuesday because you always wear your culottes on Tuesday. Don't ask me why. Tomorrow is 2 days after Tuesday, so it must be Thursday, meaning today is Wednesday? I got a point. Oh yes, you wore culottes. Monday was a dreaded socks and sandals combination.
Tart?
Yes, dear.
Was Mr. Gatto here yesterday?
Come to think of it, he was.
And the day before?
I believe so, miss.
Why can't I remember?
I don't know. Third base.
I'm terribly sorry. It seems I've done it to you again, but if you would just leave me be when I ask you to, perhaps things would turn out differently.
Let's say I was to believe you.
All right.
That you were here yesterday and the day before and perhaps many other times.
Yes.
And I did go off about doing things.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason I couldn't actually do them. I could quit. I could leave. I could turn tomorrow into everything I've dreamed.
Ah, but what if you fail? What if the bus station's out of tickets or your passport got thrown in the wash? Right now, everything is kinetic. With direction comes destination, an endpoint, for good or ill. Whereas if you stay here and remain sedentary, things won't get better, but they also won't get worse.
No ambition.
No disappointments,
No heartaches.
no fears,
Except for really big ones.
like death.
And taxes.
And vampires.
And clowns.
And fear itself.
And polio and a lesbian wife.
Right.
Is this what I normally do?
What's that?
End up fizzling out? Forgetting about things right away?
No, you should get pretty dedicated by the end, but of course, the next day,
Another cup of coffee.
not quite yet.
What about you, then? You have such a keen mind, such perspicacity. Why don't you learn from my example?
Oh, I told you, existential, metaphysical, potent, potable, it's very confounded. Besides, I've always been a bit recidivistic.
And why don't I learn from yours?
That, my dear, is a question for the ages.
So will you have anything then?
I think not.
Will you be going to a meeting?
I haven't decided. Perhaps. Or perhaps I'll send another boy along. See what tomorrow brings.
I think you should go. Break up the monotony. Give it a whirl.
Yes. I think I shall.
Another cup?
Please.
Influenza is a wonderful example of a short play done in a choral style. The playwright, Bruce Berkmeyer of Mankato, is a retired high school teacher and a former speech coach. Mankato director Doug Faust took on the challenge of directing such an unusual piece. The play focuses on children being sent home after a flu outbreak at school. The children are delighted to be out of school. The mother, not so much.
We've got influenza.
We've got influenza.
We've got influenza.
We've got influenza too. We all got influenza.
And we got sent home from school.
And we got sent home from school.
And we got sent home from school.
And we got out of school too. And we all got sent home from school.
And they all got sent home from school.
Matthew has a runny nose.
And Zachary has a cough.
And Sally has a fever of 103. Oops, stand by. Make that 105.
Oh my! Nathan has a stomachache, and Tyler has really bad gastroenteritis.
He stinks.
Heidi has bronchial inflammation.
I have inflammation.
We all have inflammation. And we don't feel so good. Here comes the thermometer.
Here comes the thermometer.
Ooh, what'll it be?
Well, what is it?
Not so fast.
Well, what is it?
The thermometer says that we are really hot.
Oh. Can I have a blanket, please?
I got diet. Chucky's got diarrhea.
Chuck died? No, he had diarrhea. Oh, better run!
Will the dog get it?
I don't think so, dear.
Will the cat get it?
I shouldn't think so, hon.
Will the spider get it?
Spider? What spider?
That one, up by the crack in the ceiling.
Hush now.
along the windowsill
Where it sat down to feast.
on a bunch of dead flies.
Oh, yuck.
Up upon the ceiling it went,
Where it hung.
and up shot.
It's just the fever, hun. Now get some rest.
Do you think that she's delirious us?
Delirious? Yeah, delirious.
No, she's just my sister.
I can't talk. I can't talk. I can't talk.
What was that?
She can't talk. She can't talk.
She can't talk.
She can't talk.
She can't talk. She can't talk. Ah, that's music to my ears.
Okay, time for some cough medicine.
Robitussin.
Yes, folks, this program is being brought to you by Robitussin, serious cough syrup for serious people. If you have bronchial inflammation, that scratchy sore throat, or your family's got the cough, Robitussin will give you the peace of mind you've been looking for. It will quiet that cough and give you that cool, smooth feeling you can only get from a quality cough syrup. Yes, sir, Robitussin, serious cough syrup for serious people. Safe for children at half doses.
Robitussin, 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 Robitussin.
I'm getting dizzy.
Can I have another blanket, please?
How about some chicken soup? No thanks. I already read it.
Yeah, we already read them all.
I'll tell you what, I like is some Playboys.
You boys are so sick.
Oh, don't say that word.
Do you think you could come to the table for something to eat?
I suppose.
If you insist.
Mom, Matthew's nose is running down into his soup. Yuck.
Cool.
I can't eat with him like that. It's disgusting. And he's making slurping sounds too.
Slurp, slurp, slurp. Slurp, slurp, slurp. Slurp, slurp, slurp.
Mom, the boys aren't minding their table manners.
Boys, stop picking on your sister.
Well, the girls were doing it too.
Boys!
Yes, Mom. Catch you later. Catch you later. Yeah. Get you later. Better run!
I think Mama's getting a headache.
She doesn't look so good.
Mama, are you getting a headache?
She's got a headache.
Best we all go back to bed.
I don't have influenza.
He comes from a poor family.
I got the flu.
Cracked is one part cooking show and one part ritualized grief ceremony. Gwydion Suliban of Silver Springs, Maryland, wrote the play on commission, thanks to an international theater group where it earned Best Production. It also earned a Best of the Fest award during the Minnesota Shorts Festival performance. Actress Beth Carlson of Crookston, Minnesota, transforms the simple act of opening an egg into a manic, panicked, hysterical, high-wire emotional experiment.
Welcome, everybody. Good evening. Thank you so much for coming. I sincerely hope this isn't a waste of your time, and that I'm not about to upset you or trouble you, although perhaps that can't be avoided. In any event, I just need a second to finish getting ready, and then we'll get started. So, this isn't an ordinary cooking show. There are all kinds of cooking shows these days. You have recipe shows, how to entertain 100 guests at once shows, how to eat with the right fork shows, extreme bake-off contests, shows about restaurants, exotic dishes, high cuisine. You even have shows about fast food. I know, it's a travesty. But the thing that makes this show different is that it isn't really a cooking show at all. It's a show about ingredients. And today's episode is all about eggs. I might as well admit it. I worship eggs. What I love most is their smell. You've probably never smelled one. A fresh one, I mean, still in the shell. The smell is just impossibly faint. It's almost not even there. But to really do it right, though, to really connect with the scent, you have to wash your hands first to remove any odors. And then rinse off the soap really well, too, so you don't smell that either. And don't use any lotion either, or wear any perfume. And you can't do it just in your kitchen. There are too many background odors. You have to find yourself an empty, well-aired room where you can just slowly breathe it in, ever so carefully. It's unforgettably delicate, I'm telling you. Oh, and then of course, there's the way the eggs look. You've probably never done this, but if you hold an egg up to the right kind of light, there's this exquisite mystery that... I'm rattling on too long, aren't I? I had a feeling I might do that. I always do that. I know I should just get to the main part of the demonstration, but there's so much I need to teach you. You don't understand. Or do you? Do you? Do you? Okay. All right, I'll just allow me 1 second, please. And I'll start again. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for coming. As you can see, this isn't an ordinary cooking show. This is a show about ingredients. And in today's episode, it's all about the egg. Full of possibilities, the egg. From the everyday to the extravagant. From gentleness and comfort to richness and indulgence. You can boil it, scramble it, poach it, fold it, beat it, even sure it. Do you know about shirred eggs? Have you ever shirred an egg? You should. You absolutely should. You should sure at least once in your life. Of course, you can also just fry an egg if you like, but even then, you have so many choices. I mean, everybody knows about over easy and over hard and sunny side up. But did you know you can also baste an egg in a frying pan or steam baste it? There are more than 100 different ways to cook an egg just by itself, without even thinking about using it as an ingredient. You could almost get overwhelmed if you think about it too long. But we mustn't get too introspective, right? We're not here to think about what can be and can't be and what could have been. We're here to talk about... What are we here to talk about? Just let me think. Eggs. That's the thing. Eggs and possibilities. 100 different ways to prepare them just by themselves without even using them as an ingredient. Fried, scrambled, poached, you know the list. But don't forget shirred. You don't want to live your whole life without shirred. And then wake up one day with this crushing sense of... Today's ingredient is the egg. The desperately beautiful, irreplaceable, simply perfect, incredibly flexible egg. And yes, I said flexible. You probably aren't used to thinking of eggs as flexible at all. I mean, they don't bend or stretch or anything. If you tried it, even if you didn't try that hard, even the slightest wrong pressure on its shell would... But let's not go there quite yet, okay? Please. The demonstration can wait a little bit longer. Anyway, flexibility. The egg does have tremendous flexibility because it can be utterly transformed into so many different things. I mean, forget about quiches and omelets. Why would you want your precious little egg to grow up to become just an omelet anyway, when it could one day emulsify a hollandaise? Or maybe wash the crust of a neatly twisted challah. Or I know, it could actually become the binding agent for the ground sirloin meatballs in an Italian wedding soup. Or better yet, it could actually be whipped into the custard for a lavender and pink peppercorn ice cream, or whisked into the filling for a millefeuille. It could become almost anything. If only it had more time. But it doesn't have more time, does it? I have to begin the demonstration. You came here for the demonstration. The thing is, though, you won't understand the demonstration unless you absolutely clear your mind first. Are you ready? First, start by forgetting what an egg usually stands for. Life, birth, rebirth, fertility, all of it. Even chaos and death in the soul, in the universal matrix, the beginning of all things, forget it all. If you're Christian, forget it's a symbol of Jesus. Remove the Virgin Mother from your memory. If you're Hindu, you have to let go of both Vishnu and the lingam. If you're Egyptian, forget about Osiris. If you're a scientist, you have to unremember that the shell is made of calcium carbonate, that the albumin contains 40 distinct proteins, that the yolk's got iron, vitamin A, vitamin D, phosphorus, calcium, thiamine, riboflavin. All of that's got to be gone. Now, are you still with me? Next, you have to forget, completely forget every single egg your mother ever made for you throughout your whole childhood, all of you. You have to unsee every egg you've ever seen in an advertisement and unthink the very concept of eggness that's long ago been encoded into the neurons in your brain, and unravel the cord that connects the egg to the chicken it came from and the chicken it might have become. Start right now. Go ahead. Take your time. Go slowly. And strip it all away, every layer. Keep going. Don't Don't stop until its whiteness is only whiteness, not the idea of whiteness. Erase the entire collective human memory of eggs, even the word egg, till you begin to see your egg as if for the very first time, without understanding, with questions in your heart, with an indescribable sense that it belongs to you and you belong to it, with pure, simple love. It's the hardest thing I've ever done in my entire life, which is why I wanted to show you, so that when the time comes that you have to do it too, because it does come for all of us, you'll know how. And so, the demonstration. I know my intention. I have properly steeled my nerves. I've taken a Xanax, had a good cry, got it all out of my system, crossed every chore off my to-do list, balanced my checkbook, silenced my cell phone, pulled down the blinds on all my windows, did a series of 10 sun salutations, forgiven all the trespasses against me, and released all my grudges. I have made peace with my father. I have made peace with my mother. I have accepted that everything I believe in is an illusion, an insubstantial wind, a dust mote to be scattered and lost for eternity, utterly meaningless and without form and void. Now, all I have to do is watch this closely. Just let go.
The hit of the Minnesota Shorts Play Festival was A Ticket for My Cat, written by a middle school student from Mankato, Sophia Tomine, aged 13. Her play was one of 2 to win Best of the Fest, and I expect she'll be a famous writer that I could say I met when she was first starting out. Mankato director Ilana Helder assembled a wonderful cast of Travis Carpenter, Kelly Quinn, and Noelle Lawton for a tale of Sarah's first day at Northwest Airlines ticket reservations. Everything seems normal until Sarah gets a call from a man who wants to order a ticket for his cat, Captain Meow.
Just relax and keep organized.
Yep, I know. Organization is the key to travel management.
Remember, all you're doing is answering the phones and seeing who they need to be put onto. Then you put them onto that person and wait for the next call.
Yes, Tina, I know.
Now just relax, Sarah. I know it's your first day and everything. Just look over those names again. Study that paperwork. You'll get this.
Okay, fine. If he wants a ticket, he gets a ticket. Of course, I have to buy his ticket for him because he's too busy to do it himself.
Best not
Yes, hello. I would like to buy a first-class ticket to Beijing.
Okay, are you 18 or older?
Actually, I'm not buying the ticket for myself.
Okay, will the recipient of the ticket be accompanied?
No, I haven't the time and no one else will.
Okay, is the recipient of the ticket older than 18?
No, he's 16.
Alright, I'm gonna need the receiver's first and last name, please.
Oh, all right. His name is Captain Meow.
Oh, not his nickname, sir, his real name, if you will.
Well, if you want his nickname, we call him the Captain. Otherwise, his real name is Captain Meow.
Is this the name his parents gave him?
His parents didn't name him.
Are you a foster parent then?
You sure have a strange way of putting things. I mean, I guess technically you could say that I'm his foster parent, although most people would call me his owner.
Okay, can you tell me if the unaccompanied minor was christened Captain Meow?
Oh, don't make an assumption about their religion. Not everyone's a Christian.
Are you trying to be funny? Who christens cats?
Wait a minute. Are we talking about a cat?
Of course we're talking about a cat. Why would I name a child Captain Meow?
Sir, I'm sorry, but you can't send a cat on a plane. You'd have to take your cat with you to Beijing, and then he'd be kept in a separate part of the plane with the rest of the animals.
Don't you understand that I don't have the time to go to China? I mean, what, with my wife and work and everything? I'm not spending 2 weeks of vacation just so my cat can go see Beijing. No, he has to go on his own.
Well, I'm sorry, sir, but if you don't go, your cat can't go.
And why not? Doesn't my cat have all the same rights as any other cat?
Well, yeah, but no cat can fly alone on a plane.
And why not?
Well, for one thing, people might be allergic.
Well, you serve peanuts on planes, don't you?
Yes.
And that's a very common allergy, isn't it?
Yeah, but if people are allergic, they don't take them. It's a choice.
Exactly. If someone's allergic to my cat, they don't sit next to her.
Yeah, but it might ruin someone's day.
So you're going to deny one a seat on a flight because it might ruin the day of the person sitting next to them?
Well, how would he be buckled in?
With a harness.
Well, he might wail the whole flight. We don't want that.
You allow people to take small children on planes, they might wail the whole flight as well.
Well, how can we count on your cat not to act up?
How can you count on anyone not to act up? I think that there's a far less risk involved with a cat on a plane than a person. Especially my cat. Captain Meow is a very regal sort of cat. I think it comes from being elderly.
Okay, so what would happen to your cat after the flight? Would he be meeting someone in Beijing?
I don't know anyone in Beijing. No. Otherwise, I'd have to go myself because it'd be rude to send my cat along and not come too.
Well, what would happen to your cat after the flight? How would he get anywhere?
Are you insulting my cat? Are you saying that my cat couldn't find his own way out of a crowded airport?
No, sir. Not at all. Well, yes.
I would like to be put on to someone else, please.
Sir, I know you can't buy a ticket for a cat.
And how long have you had this job?
Actually, this is my first day.
Oh, so if this is your first day, then it would be perfectly reasonable to ask a question, wouldn't it?
I'm not going to ask that.
Please ask.
No, I won't. Absolutely not.
I would like your first and last name, please.
You're not going to file a complaint.
Well, if you ask me, you're being very impolite.
Tina. Can you buy a ticket for a cat?
Sarah, are you sure you're cut out for this job?
So you can't buy a ticket for a cat?
Oh, of course not. Why would you want to?
Hello?
Finally, I was just about to hang up.
Well, sir, it's as I thought. You can't buy a ticket for a cat. I'm sorry.
Well, what am I supposed to tell Captain Meow? I've been delaying buying him this ticket for weeks. He'll never believe me now if I tell him I can't buy a ticket.
Whatever you tell your cat's no business of mine. Good day.
Don't be rude.
Hi, honey. It's me. Say, while you're out running errands, could you pick up some cat food? Good cat food. Yes, I did try. But they said that someone would have to accompany Captain Meow. Oh, I know. I was furious as well. No, it'll be okay. Yeah, it'll be all right. I'll call him back. Yeah. I'll call him back. It'll be fine. Just get that cat food. Okay, love you. Bye. Stupid cat!
Northwest Airlines, ticket reservations, how may I help you?
You know that my cat is neutered, right? So he wouldn't go into heat or anything.
Sir, I thought I told you, you can't buy a ticket for a cat. Northwest Airlines, ticket reservations, how may I help you?
How many times have you practiced that line anyway?
Sir, if you don't have a reasonable request, please stop calling.
Okay, what if it's not a first class seat? Can I buy a regular seat for my cat?
I thought I told you to stop calling. Oh, yes, of course. Sorry, Congressman Bachman. Yes, let me transfer you to someone else.
Oh, Sarah, remember that the impression that you give our potential customers shapes their opinion of our company.
I'm sorry, it was a mistake. I didn't expect Michelle Bachman to call.
Oh, well, you have to expect anyone to call. Rehearse with me.
I don't need to rehearse. Northwest Airlines, ticket reservations, how may I help you?
Don't sound so depressed. Again?
Northwest Airlines, ticket reservations, how may I help you?
I think you need a cup of coffee. Starbucks or Caribou?
Starbucks, regular decaf latte, milk but no sugar.
Hello?
Why do you want to send your cat to Beijing anyway?
What happened to Northwest Airlines ticket reservations? How may I help you?
I'm calling from my own phone. I can say what I want.
Well, Captain Meow wants to see the world. He's tired of being a small town cat. You know, he wants to see the world and he wants to start in Beijing because it's so different from Minnesota.
How can you tell that?
I've had my cat for 16 years. I can practically read his mind.
Well, if you're so intent on getting your cat what he wants, take him to Beijing yourself and stop bothering me about it.
So rude.
You look satisfied. Sarah, I've got some bad news.
What is it?
Well, Michelle Bachman called and complained about how rude you were to her on the phone. And since you're so new and everything, the boss has decided to get rid of you. He is furious. He says you can come back in another year after you've maybe gone to college or something.
Well, thanks for the coffee at any rate.
Oh, don't worry about it. I think I'm gonna go get myself a pastry. Sarah, I am sorry about your job.
Oh, it's not your fault.
Are you gonna go back to college?
No, Tina, I'm not.
Hello?
Hey, it's that person from the travel agency. Thanks to you, I've lost my job.
Well, thanks to you, my cat has lost a valuable experience.
No, he hasn't. I'm gonna make sure Captain Meow sees Beijing if it's the last thing I do.
Well, how are you going to do that? I thought you can't buy a flight for a cat.
I'm going to take your cat to China. I haven't seen enough of the world anyway. You can't buy a ticket for a cat, but you can buy one for me.
Thanks for joining me tonight on Playhouse Off 90. I hope you enjoyed experiencing some of the best of last year's Minnesota Shorts Play Festival from Mankato. For more information on how you can get involved, visit us online at mnshorts.com and keep supporting the local arts and entertainment scene. Good night.
Funding for Off 90 is provided in part by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund and the citizens of Minnesota.
This program is funded by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund, with money from the vote of the people of Minnesota on November 4th, 2008. This program is funded by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund, with money from the vote of the people of Minnesota on November 4th, 2008.